Hi all, in this session we are going to learn one of the service in Azure DevOps called test plans. Here we are going to learn what is test plan, where we are going to use this test plan, who are going to use this test plan service, everything we are going to discuss in detail in this session. Let us quickly understand what do you mean by testing or test plan. Here in the name itself suggests that test plan is a kind of testing plan for our project. Assume you are working for a project. You are working for a one web application development project. What you will do? You are going to develop a web application for a client. So you are going to deploy or you are going to develop the web application as per the client requirement. Once the development has been done, what will be the next step? You just need to test the web application whether the application is working as per the expectation or not. In order to do that, some kind of QA team is there. There are a lot of testers has been involved in order to test the web application. Like what they will do, they are going to conduct multiple test cases over the project code in order to understand how the quality of the code is and is there any bugs. If I had deployed over the live environment, is it working functional or not? So if the code has been successfully passed over these multiple testing cases, then only I am going to deploy the code over the production environment. It means the web application will come into live. Without having the proper testing, if I deploy the code over the live environment, if there is any outage, it will create some kind of bad impact on my web application. That creates a business loss for me. So that's why the majority of the companies has been focused on the quality of the code. If the quality of the code has been passed in the multiple stages, so based on the confirmation, they are going to deploy their web application over the live environment or production environment. What are the different types of testings are there? Here, if you see here, generally we have two types of testings are there, like manual testing, automation testing. What do you mean by manual testing? In the name itself is there. So manually we are going to test each and every test case. So here in the manual testing, we have the different things are there, like planned manual testing, user acceptance testing, exploratory testing, stakeholder feedback. What are these stages? Means each testing based on the type of person who is going to test. Based on the person, it has been different types of testings. Suppose if it is a manual testing, here the testing has been conducted by the testers in that organization. And coming to the user acceptance testing, here this test has been conducted by the UAT testing team is there. They are going to conduct. And coming to the exploratory testing, who will conduct? Here the developers, testers, product owners, multiple stakeholders has been involved in the exploratory testing. Coming to the stakeholder feedback, it has been carried out by the stakeholder who are outside of the development team. So if you see here, the manual testing based on the person who had checked, it has considered to 4 different stages or 4 different types. Okay, so this is about the theoretical part. So I am going to show to you in a practical manner, then you will have some kind of better understanding if you see the same thing over in a practical manner. Quickly I am going to log on to the dev.azure.com where I have the service. Just go to the Azure DevOps. So right now I am in Dev Tester 98 organization and I am going to create one new project. The project name is test plan. And visibility I am going to select the private and advanced Git, the basic work item process which is sufficient. Just click on create. Then one project will be created with the name of test plan. So as you know, once we create a project, by default this service has been created like boards, repos, pipelines, test plans, artifact. If you click on the test plan, how many sub-services are there? We have test plans, progress reports, runs. But are you able to access anything? No. If you click on the test plan, it is simply showing some kind of default dashboards which are available. So welcome to Test Hub. It is a kind of central location where your team coordinate all your manual test activities. Means if my team has performed some kind of manual test activities on top of the project code, so how they are going to communicate with each other, because of the one person or one team cannot be able to do all the testings. So here multiple QA teams has been involved in order to test the project code quality. So how they can effectively communicate? With the help of the test plan service, they can be effectively communicate. How many test cases are there? What are the different types of test cases? How the code has been functional? So is there any bugs? They are going to lot of things on the project code in order to test before deploying over production environment. If I want to do anything here in the test plan, it is not going to allow me to create anything. Here if you see, one pop-up has been highlighted, like you are currently logged in as a user with basic access and you are seeing this page as it don't have any test plans and test suites created for the selected team. Means here it is clearly showing I don't have access to create anything. So how I can be able to provide the team test plan access to any user? How I can be able to provide? Can I provide at project level? No. If you want to provide access to any user to the test plan, you need to provide the access at organization level. Okay, so that's why go to Azure DevOps. Right now we are in the dev test 928 organization only. Here just click on organization, click on users. Here right now I only have one user. So if you want to add multiple users, you can. So here I'm going to add Suneel DevOps 9. Otherwise Suneel Cloud IT Tech @gmail.com. Suppose I have this user with me. Okay, I'm going to create. Here clearly observe guys, how many types of access levels are there here? Basic level access, stakeholder level access, Visual Studio subscriber level access. By default I'm going to select basic level access only. So it is asking you projects. Right now I don't have any projects, so that's why it is not displayed anything here. Just click on add here. So and refresh here. Just are you able to see one new user has been added with the basic access? But with the basic access, this user, the Suneel Cloud IT Tech user, will be able to access the test plan? No, I need to provide the basic plus test plan access, but it is not replicated here. If I want to change the access level, here the basic plus test plan is showing here. No, it is not at all displayed here. So without displaying, how I can be able to select? So in order to create the access, what I need to do, just click on billing. Here you have each and everything. Just wait a moment guys. So here in the billing service, what you will be able to see here, you can be able to find the limits. Like as I told you earlier, for the private pipelines I have the 30 hours in a month. So if it is more than 30 hours, I need to pay amount to the Azure in order to use the pipeline service. And I can be able to create only 5 users in my Azure DevOps account. If I want to create more number of users, then I need to pay it. So it is providing some kind of service. Under free only we have the limited things. If you want to do unlimited things, then you need to take a paid subscription. So in organizations, so it is for lab purpose, so that's why it is not required. But for coming to the organization, so they are going to adopt paid subscription only. They are going to pay the money to the Microsoft. So here just come to here. If you observe the basic plus test plan, here if you observe, one pop-up has been highlighted, start free trial period. If you just click here, what it is showing, during the trial all your basic plus test plan users will have full access to the test plans. It is clearly telling, suppose if you create the trial period, in the trial period, so whoever the users has been allocated the access the access name is basic plus test plans have the full access over the test plans. But if any user have the only basic access, they only have the access only to the execute tests. After trial period expiration means it is 30 days only now. It is very limited time or limited period. So if you want to continue by using the same service, then you need to convert to the paid plan. Then only the users which you have selected under the test basic plus test plan service will be able to continue to use it. Otherwise they can't able, because of after 30 days it will automatically expire. So I am going to start free trial period. Just a moment guys, it will be added soon. Yes, right now the trial period has been initiated successfully and it is going to expire in the next 30 days. And here right now I am going to users tab, and if you click on here right now, earlier it is only showing 3 things: basic, stakeholder, Visual Studio, subscriber. But right now it is going to replicate 4. Just check. Yes or not? Yes or no? Yes. Earlier the basic plus test plan is not there, this kind of access, but right now it has been there because of I just subscribed to the free trial subscription. Just click on save. So right now the Suneel Cloud IT Tech user have the full access over the test plan. Along with the Suneel Cloud IT Tech, I am going to provide the access to Dev Tester 9 to 8 as well. Earlier he is the basic level, so I am going to provide test basic plus test plans. So right now the 2 users who are available in my organization have the full access over test plans. Okay, just go to the test plan, and if you click here test plan, so right now how many things are there? Earlier we only have 2 things. Right now how many things we have? Test plans, progress reports, parameters, configurations, runs. Don't worry guys, in this area you are not supposed to work. This is for just your knowledge purpose only, because of mostly the test engineers are going to use these services in your real-time environment. As a Azure admin or as a Azure DevOps engineer, you don't need to worry about this service, because of this part only taken care by the test engineers or QA engineers. Okay, but you just need to understand what exactly happened inside of the test plan. Okay, it is just for awareness or knowledge purpose. And here there are different things are there. First of all, I need to create one test plan. Means I am going to plan one test. So just click on plus one test plan. So what it will do, we are going to check. So just a moment, it is going to create the page where I can be able to create the test plan. Here I am going to mention test plan 1. Okay, so here it is in the area path of test plan only, iteration is test plan only. Just click on create. So what I had done, I just created one test plan 1, and under the test plan what I can be able to add multiple test cases. Suppose if you want to add any test case, here you can add new test case. I am going to show to you step by step. So here the test case is test case 1 here, and it is in the state of design. Okay, reason it is a new thing, and description also the test case 1 I am going to mention. Okay, just save and close. Fine. Okay, under the test plan 1 you have the test case 1. So if you want to create multiple test cases, then you can be able to create the n number of test cases under this test plan. So we can associate the same test with the work items as well. What do you mean by work items? Whatever the job, whatever the activity which you are doing as a part of project, that will be called as a work item. Work item is a nothing but workable item. So here, is it replicated here or not? Yes, the test case 1 which I had created over test plans, is it replicated here or not? Yes, test case is also nothing but it's a kind of work, because of the test team, the test engineers are supposed to do work on these test cases. Means if we are going to work on a particular thing, that will be called as a work item only. And here, if you want to create epic, you can create. Suppose I am going to create one epic. The name of the epic is earlier what project we had taken, SBI net banking. The same thing I am going to take here, and here just click on okay. Just go back to the boards or just go back to the work items. Then you will be able to see. Suppose for the SBI net banking epic, if I want to add some test cases, or I'm going to create one more issue. So SBI login module. Here no one is selected. I'm going to select the dev tester 928. Okay. Just click on save and go to the work item and go to the board. So right now you have the issue. If you want to add test to this, because of you have working on one work item. If you want to add some test cases to the workable item, yes, you can add. Here you can add test 1, test 2, test 3. So multiple things you can add here. So here go to test plans, and so here SBI login module is there. So under the login module, how many tests are there? Test 1, test 2, test 3. So the SBI login module where I had created in the work item in the board service. So even though if I tag these two test cases, is that replicated automatically in the test plans or not? Yes. Generally, what are the test plan and what are the test cases? Suppose I'm going to show to you some kind of pictorial diagram. Then you will have some kind of better understanding what exactly happened. Suppose I have one application. The name of the application is SBI Net Banking. So here I had developed, the developers has developed the code for the SBI Net Banking application. So what the tester will do? They are going to do some kind of testing on it. So what they will do, first of all, initially what they will do, they are going to check. You are going to develop a web application. They are going to check with the help of Google Chrome browser. We need to access the application or not? Yes, Google Chrome. This is one test case. So then after that, Mozilla. This is another test case. Edge browser. This is the another test case. And finally, you are going to check the Safari browser. This is the another test case. Okay. Suppose you had developed an application. So you want to check the application is successfully worked, whether I am going to access the application via Google Chrome browser or Mozilla browser or Edge browser or Safari browser. Because of you don't know the end user is accessing your application through which browser. Suppose if I am going to accessing this application from my Google Chrome browser, it need to be work. If I am going to access this application by using my Mozilla browser, it need to be working properly. So that's why they are going to write multiple test cases for an application. Suppose they are writing some test case for the platform, like I am going to use Windows operating system. I am going to install the application on Windows operating system. I just need to check whether it is working out properly or not. And if I install on top of Linux, I need to check. If I install on top of Mac OS, I need to check whether it will be working properly or not. Yes. So here it is a kind of platform test cases. In this way, there are lot of test cases. Like suppose if you see login module, so they are going to check whether I am going to provide some kind of dummy credentials, it will be login or not. If I am going to mention like user, if it is only means like when I log in by entering the username password, if the username and password both are matched, then only it is going to allow me to log into the application. If I enter some kind of wrong username, then if even though I had entered the right password, is it going to enter me to log into my application? No, it is not going to allow me. If I enter the right username and enter the wrong password, it is going to allow me? No. Whenever I had entered the right username and the right password, then only it is going to allow me to log in to the application. So in the similar way, there are a lot of test cases are there. Different types of test cases are there. So the test engineers are going to work on different test cases in order to check the quality of the code, functionality of the code, and performance of the code. So successful completion of upon successful completion of the project functional in all these stages, then only the organization is going to deploy the project over real-time environment or in production environment. Okay, and one more thing, hope you guys understood about test plans. And here one more thing guys, we just need to understand one of the service called artifacts. Here, as you know, artifact is what? Here in the CI pipeline, we are going to build our code. Once we have built the code, here I am going to show to you. Here it is CI/CD pipeline. Go to repos. So in repos we have master. Okay, fine. Go to pipelines. In pipelines we have the CI pipeline is there. So what is the purpose of CI pipeline? It is going to build our code. Once the code has been successfully built, it is going to generate one artifact. Artifact is nothing but a package of your application. So we are going to deploy the artifact on top of Azure resources. It is going, then only I can be able to access the application. Here, if you click on agent job here, is it showing one artifact has been produced? If you click on the artifact, here it is drop. This is nothing but an artifact. So artifact is nothing but a final end product which need to be deployed. Is a deployable component. So what we will deploy? Finally, what we will deploy? Artifact. So from where artifact has been generated? It is going to generate from the CI pipeline. So whatever the artifact has been generated from the CI pipeline, the CD pipeline is going to take that artifact and is going to deploy over the targeted environment. So this is what happened in the backend. Okay guys, and this is about all the services in Azure DevOps. So with this, I hope the Azure DevOps we had covered all the services. So what we will do in the next session, I am going to show to you introduction to the Azure services. What are the different types of Azure services are there? So how we are going to create the resource group? So what do you mean by IS? What do you mean by PaaS? What do you mean by SaaS? So we are going to discuss in detail in the next session about the Azure services. Okay, thank you guys for attending my session, and hope you guys understood my session, and I will meet you in the next session with a new topic. Until signing off, thank you, bye bye.